The Pirates are good again, and it feels so great. Off to a red-hot 32-14 start to the season, and there is no shortage of storylines about players having just a ton of success. Here we get to highlight Jazz Chisholm for a moment, but what I want to talk about today is kind of this pitching duel we have within our organization. Both Mitch Keller and Jared Jones are coming up on expiring contracts. We do have 1 year of team control for Jared Jones beyond this season, but this is Mitch Keller's final year. They're both pitching really well. Look at these numbers from Mitch Keller, and I want to see them both pitch today against the same team, and the opponent will be facing off for this little maybe test of two pitchers will be the Kansas City Royals. Now, we'll be watching both sides of the baseball here in this initial game as Keller gets Mullins swinging on a pitch right in the middle of the zone. Not often you see a strikeout there, I feel like, unless you're got some serious heat. Bobby Witt, he crushes this pitch for the first run of this ball game. And I know what you might be thinking, Fiend, we've seen so many home runs in this series, and you've never pulled up a home run counter before. Why do it now? Oh, just trust me. By the end of this game, you will have no questions about why I pulled up a home run counter for this matchup against the Royals. Next up is Nelson Velasquez, and it is back-to-back home runs for the Royals here in the first inning. Mitch Keller's been dominant on the mound so far, but this is a rough start to this game. Witt and Velasquez back-to-back going yard. We're not even through the first yet. Vinny Pasquantino is up next, hitting .252 on the season. Once again, hit deep into the outfield, but this time didn't have quite as much carry in foul territory. Brian Reynolds able to end the inning, but 2 hits, 2 home runs for the Royals. Fink hitting leadoff for us, as he so often does. This time, a grounder. He is playing incredible this year, and he is so fun to watch. Reynolds on a borderline pitch low in the zone. He'll get a free base. We're going up against John Gray on the mound for the Royals. I remember him mostly from Mr. Hurricanes, Colorado Rockies franchise. Saw that 4-home run streak at the beginning of this game for Jazz Chisholm, and he extends that streak to now 5 straight games with a home run. We're already up to 3 home runs in this game, and we're in the first inning. Buckle in, everybody, because we're not close to done. But Jazz Chisholm, 10 home runs on the year, and again, 5 straight games now going yard. His bat is starting to pop in a major way, and it is boosting this offense in a major way as well. He wasn't even off to a bad start to the season either. He's just going from playing well to playing extremely well the last week or so. Robles taking good to hitting in the middle of the lineup here. .287 so far this season. He'll get a 2-out single as the game is now tied 2 apiece. David Young, .310. I know he was hitting some absurd numbers at the end of last episode. He is actually on a little bit of a cold streak there, but maybe a single in the bottom of the first can turn that around. Joe Adell hitting over 300. He's been kind of a double play and ground out machine so far when we've watched, but he's hitting really well in simulation. But once again, another ground out. That might have been a double play had we only had 1 or fewer outs. Gleyber Torres, he'll draw a walk here to lead off the second. We need a bounce back inning here from Mitch Keller. Gets the strikeout of Michael Massey with a fastball beneath the strikeout zone. Get to see a replay of it here. Nice job getting him to chase at a ball nearly in the dirt there. MJ Melendez under 200 so far on the season. This one's back into the left center field gap and gone. The third Royals home run of this game already. What has gotten into Mitch Keller? A sub-2 ERA entering this start. I think it's going up a little bit here. 4 runs already on the board for Kansas City. Back to the top of the order already as well. This on the ground will go right back up the middle. Passing Mitch Keller. Reigning Gold Glove pitcher, but couldn't get a hold of that one. 2 outs here. Top of the second. Mullins. He has a hold of this pitch. This one's back as well. And it's another Kansas City home run. Mitch Keller just must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed because he is leaving way too many pitches to hit right over the plate for these Royals. And they are seeing the ball out of his hand very cleanly. Witt, he homered in the first inning. Not going to go back-to-back, thankfully, as the second is over. Needed the bounce-back inning from Mitch Keller. That's not what we got. Already 6 Royals runs. 9-hitter up for us. Triolo at second base. That gets over the leaping glove of Garcia. Melendez giving chase, but a 1-out extra base hit from Jared Triolo. Last time, we were able to match the Royals in the first inning. When they scored 2, we scored 2 right back, but a strikeout on a slider. If I have one critique of Billy Finkus, he swings on a lot of sliders outside the zone. I don't show them all to you because a lot of them aren't for strike 3, but that dude can't help but chase a slider. I just got to say that. This time we cannot match what they did in the second. We go scoreless. Nelson Velasquez already homered in this game. He's going to do it again. 6 home runs in this baseball game. 5 from the Royals. We just started the third inning. And this begs the question, when do you just take Mitch Keller out and accept that we're going to have to burn through our bullpen here? Because he has really struggled in a major way, and the answer is right now. Just 2 innings pitched from our starter. That's easily the worst game we've seen from our starter so far in the series. Not what we were hoping for when we were wanting to highlight how well our pitchers have been playing so far this season. So James Waylock comes in. He's certainly a guy that has multi-inning level stamina as a reliever. The guy we got back in the Ke'Bryan Hayes trade. Pitched well for us last season. Having a solid start to this one as well. And no more runs aboard for the Royals here. That chopper does get past the diving glove of Bobby Witt Jr. To lead off the bottom of the third here for Pittsburgh. Spencer Horwitz at the plate now, but not before Chisholm slides his way into scoring position. 15 stolen bases for him. And that's been an area that the Pirates have really excelled in this year, is stealing bases. We got a lot of guys who have the speed and the ability to do so. Victor Robles, his second hit, will bring another run across home plate for the Pirates. Now 7-3, slowly crawling our way back in it. Jan lifts it to left field. Fly out here for the second out of the inning. Joe Adell. Can he come through for us in the clutch? That's going to get down in right field. Going to take a while to get there. Can we get a run across all the way from first base and had the ball in time, but he mishandled it. So it's a Pirates run. Joe Adell, by the way, on a 13-game hitting streak. This offense trying to keep up pace with the Royals here, and we're still behind, but they're doing a pretty decent job. 4 runs in 3 innings for them. Melendez back deep, not going to leave the yard, but it will be another ball that gets to the stands. This time, luckily, only an automatic double. Mitchell on the ground. Waylock able to beat him to the bag. 2 outs now here. A man on third base. This one to Jared Triolo. Mishandles it at second base. And the Royals score again on an E4. Rough stuff, man. When your pitching isn't going great, you got to get some help from the fielding. And that's maybe our weakest spot is that fielding. Coming back to bite us there. And then once again over to second base. This time I don't think it'll count as an error. Should be a base hit. But Bobby with speed keeps the inning alive for Kansas City, but a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Not sure why Velasquez, who's hit 2 homers in this game, checked up on that, but out of the inning, just the 1 run on error scored for Kansas City. Triolo, he has had himself some nice hits now. Able to get another one aboard here to lead off the 4th inning. Can we cut into this lead a little bit more here in the 4th? We've got Billy Fink up to the plate next up. He's been one of the few guys who hasn't gotten involved. Still hitting .327 so far this year. Wild pitch. Triolo safely sliding his way into third now. Makes it even easier for Fink to pick up a potential RBI. This grounder will get through that right field gap, and it's an RBI single for Billy Fink. Trimming the lead down to 3, 8-5 here. It also keeps Billy Fink's hit streak alive now at 10 games. Chisholm 2 for 2, and make it 3 for 3 in terms of getting on base at least. As he draws ball 4 there from John Gray. Was just about to comment about how long he's going to last, and he goes down. And it makes sense. You bring in the lefty to pitch against Spencer Horwitz, but he's got high clutch, and it comes into play here. That gets to the wall. 1 Pirates run scores. 2 Pirates runs score. A 2-run double for Spencer Horwitz. They played the game, I think, correctly. You definitely want to bring in a lefty to pitch against Horwitz. But he got a good pitch to hit there, and he got a big hold of it. The problem, though, with bringing in the lefties is a lot of the guys that are hitting behind Horwitz are actually better against left-handed pitching. David Yon, the automatic walk, it seems like. He's on base. Adele brought home a run the last time he was up to the plate. Gonna do so again. And just like that, with an explosive 4th inning, the Pirates are in front here. These are some juice baseballs or something. I don't know what's going on. The offense has been absolutely nuts in this game on both sides. What is going on here? 2 outs. Sweeney trying to keep the inning alive. He gets a hold of a ball deep to center field. It is out of here. And the home run counter continues to increase. 7 homers in the game. 5 for Kansas City, now 2 for Pittsburgh. I mean, we had 9 runs with only 1 home run. And it was just a 2-run home run as well. It wasn't even like a grand slam or anything. So we weren't relying on homers nearly as much as Kansas City was. But if we could start to hit some, get that team versus team counter closer, we could be talking about a crazy day. It already has been a crazy day from the Pirates and from Jared Triolo. The Royals got back-to-back homers in the 1st. The Pirates answer back in the 4th. Wow. This is now a 7-2 8-run inning for the Pittsburgh Pirates with these back-to-back home runs. We've had 2 outs now for a while, and the Royals just can't get it done. Ben Kujna, I'm not going to try and pronounce that name ever again. He comes in facing Billy Fink, and the inning is finally over. What a run for our Pirates there in the 4th. 8 runs aboard. Waylock going against Pasquantino, and immediately the Royals respond here to lead off the 5th. Make it 9 homers in this game. If my internet research is correct, the MLB record for home runs in a single game was a game against the Diamondbacks and the Phillies in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, with 13. We're at 9, and we're in the top of the 5th inning. We are certainly in record territory. We can continue to hit at this pace. Melendez at the plate, but we get an out from David Yan showing off the arm behind the plate here. So it seems like sometimes steals are almost automatic in this game. Trying to take advantage of a slightly wild pitch there, but David Yan with a great throw. 2-out single here from Melendez, though. Trying to keep this inning going. Blake Mitchell, another deep ball to left field, but this time it's run down by Brian Reynolds to end the inning. Speaking of Brian Reynolds, he'll get on base here with a walk. I like the discipline I'm seeing from the boys. We've seen several walks now up to this point. That pitch gets behind the catcher. And that's going to be a wild pitch there to put a man in scoring position for Jazz. Playing so well. Hit that one solidly, but right into the glove of Melendez for the first out. Horwitz. He is going to get another RBI hit. Extending the Pirates' lead even further. It feels like everybody's having a good game here. Sliding into second now. He's the guy with the lowest average on the team, but he's having himself a nice day here. Yan. Inside on the hands. Floated out to right field to end the 5th. You know, just a meager 1-run inning for the Pirates in the 5th. And Soriano in for the Pirates here to pitch in the 6th. He being Cedric Mullins. I can't even blame him. Just kidding. I have nothing against Cedric Mullins. But these Royals hitters have certainly gotten on these Pirates pitchers' nerves in this game. There's no doubt about it. Velasquez. He strikes out on that inside heat from Soriano. Pasquantino, he homered his last time up. But a lazy fly infield handled by Chisholm. No runs aboard for the Royals. How many innings have we been able to say that in reality? Joe Waddell finally showing us what he can do. You know, like I said, he's been hitting well in simulation. Hasn't done all that well when we've watched, except for today where he's had 2 really clutch hits for us. Triolo, what a baller here in this game. He's hitting in the 9th spot, but hitting like a leadoff man here today. Fink. Grounder to third. His RBI single has really been his only contribution offensively for the guy who's been our best offensive player this whole season. It's been the guys hitting in kind of the bottom of our lineup that have really come through for us. Holderman gets a strikeout here as he subs in for Soriano in the 7th. Massey. He will look at a sweeper low for ball 4. Melendez up to the plate. He's got a homer, looking for another, and Adele leaps and snags it at the wall. I don't know if the leap was necessary. Maybe it was, but hey, I'm not going to blame a guy making a play out in center field. Blake Mitchell hitting just 200 on the season, but it's another home run aboard for the Kansas City Royals, and it's a 2-run ball game again. What is going on in this game, man? Oh, it's his first career homer as well. Good for the guy. You love to see it, I guess. But there's no way we can blow this game with our offense playing so incredibly well. We've honestly been one of, if not the best offense in baseball this season. Showcased about as well as you could be here in the game. Reynolds going to add to the home run fun. 11, 2 away from tying the record, 3 away from breaking it in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the way this game has gone, I would not be surprised if we end up breaking this record, man. Extending our lead a little bit here now, 14-11. That sword getting some pretty nice use here in this game, that's for sure. Jazz. He's going to have a strikeout here, but the ball gets behind the catcher. And he's safe in the first. Horwitz cracks one. Center field. Gone. 406 feet out of the stadium. What a game here from Spencer Horwitz. Like Horwitz and Triolo, man, they're both out here balling in this game. Joe Adele, too. Bottom of our order, man. I think Horwitz is 4th. He's not bottom of the order by any means, but he hasn't been playing his best, I should say, to start the season. But he's playing his best in this game. We have 16 runs. This is a team that, like, for the first few seasons, every single game was like a pitcher's duel because that's the only way we could stay in ball games, was to have this close pitching defense game. That is not the Pirates anymore. Usually our pitching is much better than it is today. I showcased kind of at the end of last episode how well our pitching has, for the most part, been playing. As David Young picks up an RBI single here, extending our lead even further. Now I'm starting to feel pretty good about this game. But the offense is playing great. Although not today, the pitching has been playing great as well. Oh boy, you really are starting to maybe get excited about what could be the ceiling of this Pirates team, as long as, you know, we're not playing against the Royals, I guess, and their 11 runs and their 7 home runs or whatever it is in this game. 5-4-3 double play gets us out of the 8th. Turn 2 there, and we get to the bottom of the 8th. Billy Fink, been one of the least productive players today, but not anymore. And with that, we have tied a record for most home runs in the game. This one, the farthest one yet, 485 feet on that blast. 13 home runs for Billy Fink so far this year. In what I said, we're 32-14, so that's like 45 games. Pretty dang good. And it's 18 runs on the board for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's see the sword swinging around one more time. Or who knows, maybe not even one more time. But glad to see Billy Fink hit a homer on a day filled with them here in PNC Park. 114 miles an hour off the bat. You love to see it from Billy Fink. Reynolds. That's going to get over the head of the first baseman all the way back to the wall. There's a double in for him. Are we going to continue to extend our lead here? I certainly wouldn't mind that. Robles. High pitch. Floater, and hauled in by Mullins in center. So we'll have to settle for 18 runs, I guess, heading into the top of the 9th to try to close this game out. 2 outs already acquired. 1-2 pitch, trying to finish off what has been an awesome game, and the circle change is in for strike 3. The Pirates win what has been the craziest game I've seen from MLB the Show 25, and maybe any MLB the Show. It could be recency bias, but what an insane game. I'm normally not a box score watcher, but when you score 19 runs in a game, you tend to take a look at the occasional box score. And in this particular game, a 19-3 victory over the Athletics, Nick York was subbing in for this game, and he had 5 hits, 2 home runs, and hit for the cycle off of the bench. Just an absolutely wild game from York. Totally random game for sure, but like I said, I'm not much of a box score watcher. I don't know how many times we've hit for the cycle in this franchise, but this game from Nick York, has to be one of the best ones. 9 RBI as well of our 19. Wild. Before moving on with the episode, I have to take a quick moment to shout out Miami Cards for becoming a member here on the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope you enjoy the members-only Pirates content we've got cooking already on the channel and the upcoming content, as well as other members-only stuff that we'll be doing in future series as well. But I think it's time to go ahead and watch Jared Jones throw some pitches. So in the beginning of the episode, I mentioned that the original plan I had for this episode wasn't to showcase insane offense, but rather showcase Mitch Keller versus Jared Jones. Keller only lasted 2 innings here, so I'm hoping that we can get better here from Jared Jones in the very next start as he strikes out the leadoff man. That's a good sign. Cedric Mullins in the dirt. He's swinging through it. Jan makes the easy throw. Back-to-back punch-outs here for Jared Jones. Can he strike out the side? Last time, Bobby Miller homered in the first. But this time, Jared Jones. Back-to-back case to start off the game. He's already looking better than Keller did. Although that's not exactly the highest bar to attain. Again, I'm not trying to talk crap on Mitch Keller. He's been so good for us this entire series. That was just the wildest game I've ever seen. And unfortunately, he had to be the one pitching in that game. Jones. Pitching here to Pascantino for a ground out over to Horwitz. Had 4 straight strikeouts to start this game. Going to get 6 straight outs. Torres to Triolo, and that's going to wrap up the second inning for Jared Jones. Into the third here. Can we keep putting down this Royals order? Unfortunately, the offense seems to have slowed down for both teams here, as the Pirates haven't been able to score yet either. Although, to be fair, our scoring really got going in the 4th last time. So, we did have a couple runs aboard in the beginning, but it was really the 4th inning that kicked off the insane stuff for us. 5th punch out of the game for Jared Jones, going against Blake Mitchell now. This ball is back, and it is not going to be a home run. Almost had his first 2 career home runs against the Pirates. Does get an automatic double, so unfortunately not going to go 9 up, 9 down here to start this game. We'll go 10 up, 9 down. A pretty good stuff from Jared Jones to start off this game. So if we're only going off this episode, I guess we're keeping Jared Jones, right? Obviously, I'm not going to use this episode as the sole judging point for who we keep. But if it's close and it's a tiebreaker, we could certainly use what we saw here in this episode that was going to be testing these pitchers as maybe a tiebreaker. That's for sure. We got to make it mean something at least. Horwitz with a flash of the glove. Gets us out of another inning cleanly. Pirates getting some runs aboard now. 3 for Pittsburgh as Jared Jones gets his 7th strikeout there. Wasn't expecting a slider, I don't think. Torres lifts to right field. Victor Robles makes the easy play. 2 gone here in the 5th now. Massey, he gets some contact on the ball outside the zone, and Jared Jones covering first gets us 5 scoreless innings for Jones. This one gets right by him. Triolo wasn't making plays last game, but this time makes a nice one to help out his pitcher. And kind of like I was saying, here in the middle innings, the Pirates offense has actually picked up some. Now 6 runs aboard. Like I've said, this is not the Pirates offense of old, man. Our offense is actually really good now. And we might be overperforming a little bit. I don't think our offense is as good as they've hit so far this season, but they are certainly so much better. Yon, Fink being added. Joe Adell so far has worked out. Jazz Chisholm, back-to-back kind of free agent guys that have hit for us. 8th strikeout of the outing. He does come out here for the 7th. The pitch count is in a spot where I thought he might just play for 6. I don't mind the decision, though, by any means, to get him out here for the 7th, but it does ruin his 0 ERA performance as Bobby Witt with a solo shot puts Kansas City aboard. His 6th home run of the season. Please don't go back-to-back. We can't go back-to-back. Not going to be back-to-back homers, but Velasquez does get a single here, and that is going to be the end of the day for Jared Jones. Thought he might get subbed out to start the 7th, but back-to-back hits, certainly time to bring him in. The Pirates would end up getting a 9-2 victory. Worth noting that Billy Fink extended his hit streak, and Jazz Chisholm also extended his home run streak in this game with a 2-run shot to make it 6 straight home run games. And the Pirates win another one against Kansas City. But one thing I just got to say right now, I can't get enough of watching Billy Fink play baseball, man. He is so fun to watch. Getting a generational player that has somehow lived up, if not exceeded, what we even expected of him so far. Gonna go up against the lefty here, trying to keep the hit streak alive. And he does it here in the 1st, picking up another RBI single for Billy Fink. I think we'll just watch him until his hit streak goes away. Now up to 12 games now. Top of the 3rd, he's back aboard. Pirates lead 2-1. This one's going to be hauled in at first. Could be 2, but the speed from Fink will make it just a fielder's choice instead. Score will remain the same. Top of the 5th. This is going to get through the infield. Billy Fink. Multi-hit game here. Just 2 singles, but still good production from our face of the franchise. Gave him a massive contract when he had only played a handful of games for us. So far, that's paying off in a major way. Sometimes, there's risk giving a guy a long-term contract. Some guys maybe don't play as hard when they've already got the bag. But that's not the case with Billy Fink. Pirates holding a 3-2 lead here. Fink trying to extend it, but he's going to swipe through that pitch there. And ultimately, we would get a blown save from Jojo Romero, who hasn't been off to as good of a start this year as last year. He's certainly blown more saves, but going to give him more time to try and bounce back for sure. Take a look at what this offense has been doing now. That 18-run game certainly might skew things. I believe that was still in the last 4 games at this point. But our offense is on fire. The Pirates might have the best offense in baseball this year up to this point. Billy Fink's been a major part of it here. Take a look at these averages. We have one player. Our second worst average right now is Albert Sweeney at 276. And our worst is 247. 247 might have been our 3rd best player for the first couple of seasons. Now it's our worst by like 30 points almost. It is absolutely insane how just not even like, it's not like we're being carried by stars and then everyone else is maybe falling through like maybe we had last year with the Jazz Chisholm, right? Just every single player that's up to the plate is a threat, and it's such a good feeling to have. By the way, though, we are actually at risk of Billy Fink losing his hit streak if he doesn't get one here. The Pirates haven't even scored, and he swings through the sweeper. The hit streak is over for Billy Fink, but maybe what's even worse here is somehow the Cubs just keep finding a way to beat us. It's really annoying. They're like the team with the number 1 pick. Why can't we beat this team? We also got shut out in this game in Wrigley Field. So not a great offensive performance from us after scoring 18 early on in the episode. So I showed you how we had ranked over the last 4 games, but here, as we have now simulated through the month of May with a record of 41-22, let's see how we're ranking on the season. In batting average, we are the best batting average in baseball right now, hitting .290 as a team. I've showcased just how well everyone's hitting, but just team-wide, everyone's on fire here. We lead all of baseball in runs by a pretty decent margin as well. Hits, number 1. Doubles, we are not number 1, but we are 3rd. Triples, second only to Washington, who, yeah, they have some pretty speedy players out there for sure. Look at how many home runs we've hit more than anybody else. 17 home run lead on the second place team right now. Maybe we should have added Brandon Lau here. He would have made us have an insane lead. As you can see, he's the top home run getter for the second place Guardians here. Steals, we are number 1 in baseball. Victor Robles leads us there. Jazz Chisholm also having a great year with steals. In terms of getting caught stealing, we're not great there. We have done that a decent amount, but we're still, because we're so good at stealing bags, that our stolen base percentage is still really good. Drawing walks, 8th. Strikeouts, we aren't the best there. Hey, when you're hitting home runs, if you strike out as well, that's fine. Number 1 slugging percentage, no surprise there. Number 1 on base percentage as well. Just great stuff. Now, how are we doing in terms of errors? I know that's our weakness right now is our fielding, and we are 19th there. We're not, worst in the league. Our fielding percentage is right in the kind of middle as well. As long as you're middle and you have an offense like this, you're going to take it. But we're not just a one-trick pony, baby. We also pitch at an insane rate. 4th in the league in ERA. In terms of saves, Jojo Romero said he's blown some more saves than he did last year, but we're still 3rd in terms of saves. He's got 16 so far. Not nearly as many as Tanner Scott or Cade Smith, or a lot of these guys here at the top. Blown saves, this is where I want to see. So, yeah, we're not nearly as good. He was so good at avoiding blown saves here, but he has 4 already on the season. Will Vest, a guy that we paid on a 1-year contract, reigning reliever of the year, hasn't been amazing either. 10th in terms of hits allowed, 5th in terms of runs allowed. Home runs allowed, we are tied for 4th, and we are great at not giving up walks. We are currently tied for the best right now. Strikeouts, not all of our pitchers are great strikeout pitchers, so we're at 15th right now. Jared Jones actually leading us there, not Paul Skenes. And only the Guardians have a better win percentage than us in all of baseball. The Pirates are really good. We are now the 3rd best team in baseball based on overall. We're top 10 in both contact and power. We might be right at 10th, but hey, that's still top 10. 2nd in pitching, 16th in defense, 7th in speed. One thing I want to go for, just kind of player-wise, I just want to show you kind of what our rookies are doing and kind of our farm system is doing. I've made it pretty clear how well our major league team is playing right now, but it's important to also check in on the farm system. Thomas Coyle here Getting just kind of a lot of +1s on the board. We just finished May, so you're not going to see a lot of the big upgrades quite yet. It's usually around kind of July or even June you'll start to see some big upgrades for sure. And players who are playing amazing will have great upgrades here. Jermaine Hodges here, 4.3 ERA, 1.28 WHIP for us on the season. Not bad by any means. Would love to see more than +1 to pitching clutch right now for sure. Pete Good, I mean, he's pitching really good. There's not much else to say about it. The lefty here, 1.41 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. Man, how far away is he? That is the question that you have to answer here. That's kind of it for the guys that are close maybe. We have a lot of young relievers that are close, though. If we have guys that are slacking here, I'm not seeing anybody that's playing terribly here. Honestly, Willie Vest might be our worst. I know we have a 4.61 here, but just a 1.1 WHIP for Holderman. Our guys are playing pretty well, so I don't know if we're really rushing anybody up at this point. But we've got Mosquera here. ERA looks really good. WHIP is solid as well. We've got Fernando Torrero struggling a bit, but that's fine. He's just getting his professional career started here. Jesus Vaccaro, a little bit high, and he's actually getting some stuff going down for him, which is really unfortunate. Of course, the guy that we got back for O'Neal Cruz. Luis Medina, unfortunately not with the team this year, but there you have that. And then we got a couple more relievers here. Bob Gomez doing really nice things. We have a lot of lefty relievers. That is something that hasn't been intentional. I always want a couple, but Lynn is a lefty. Gomez is a lefty. Mosquera is a righty, but Fernando Torrero is also a righty. I thought he was a lefty, but Vaccaro is also a lefty. So we have a decent amount of lefty relievers to the point where I'd actually probably prefer a right-handed reliever for the next guy that we go for. It's not to the point where I can't take another lefty, but we're certainly, I would say, set there. In terms of Robert Eckert, he is hitting .306 with 6 home runs so far in Double-A. He is losing power against the lefties, unfortunately, but getting some good upgrades across the board. We are training his fielding for those that are wondering about training. Most of the guys is pretty obvious what we're training for. That's why I haven't really gone over it in depth this year. Jamar Johnson here, unfortunately losing a little bit of power versus right, but he's got 272 average, 5 home runs, 754 OPS. You know, if Jared Trillo didn't just show me something awesome in the last game, we could be talking about Jamar Johnson being the next guy called up, and maybe he still is, but Trillo was awesome in this episode. I can't talk about how awesome he was and then in the same breath talk about, replacing him soon by any means. Pedro Ponce is currently on fire, 292 average, 9 home runs. It looks like that big-time injury last season is not slowing him down. In fact, he's probably ready for a call-up to AAA. In fact, I think we do that right now. Sayani here is struggling in AAA. Or at least he was currently on a cold streak. I didn't actually look at his average. But Pedro Ponce here, 75 overall. Let's get him up to AAA for sure. Robinson Brown has been in AAA, and he's hit for a 300 average. He's on base 40% of the time, and OPS at 800. Mostly because this guy is great. He has more walks than strikeouts right now. Looking maybe a little bit David Yanish in that aspect. Buford Kingman. A guy, if we got another struggling year out of Victor Robles, I could certainly see calling up, but he's having a really good year. I think he's really taken to hitting in the middle of the lineup rather than lead off for us this year. And that's kind of the update that I wanted. I wanted to mainly focus, player-wise at least, on the we definitely don't want Tino Tejada. This is something I'll fix here. But here in the player update, because we kind of already talked about a lot of how well our major league roster is performing. 41-22, things working really well here for our Pittsburgh Pirates. Hope you enjoyed this episode and the absolute insane gameplay that we had at times. We'll be back more with Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. If you're curious as to why it took so long to release this episode, it was draft weekend, baby. That's like religious holiday for me. I don't work during NFL draft weekend, all right? But we're going to keep going at the pace that we have been going at before kind of this 3-day lull or whatever. As we continue going forward, every other day should continue to be the pace that we go at. But that's all I've got for the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with another. And until then, let's go Bucks.